Morning, everyone. It is time for WoW Wednesday. So today, I think we're feeling something a little bit more chill, which really what that means is the pace of vanilla. But the version of vanilla I like is hardcore. So, in the search for something more chill, as I said in my announcement, we are playing the most high stakes version of the game, which is hardcore. Where we're on Doomhowl. The music's looping around. You can see how long I've had the game ready to go. All right. Well, I am fully set up. And now we're at the part of the game in which I have to decide who to play. I'm kind of feeling Bright Ranger. The issue is just that at his level, I'm not quite sure what questing to do. I also kind of feel like playing Rogue, but she is my bank tune right now, so if she dies, I lose a lot. Maybe we'll start Bright Ranger, and we'll just hope that I figure it out before I die. Which is, you know, the goal in life in general, I suppose. Hopefully I figure it out before I die. I just realized did not turn my blocks back on. Well, I can get that fixed. There we go. Just because I don't want to be responsible for what people choose to say in the chat while I'm streaming. You know? Who knows what they would choose to say. Alright, so taking a look at the quest log here, I have Blackrock Depths, not doing that. Ungoro Soil. Go to the Plaguelands. Fellwood. Remember those seemed intimidating. Good morning, Songville. Songville says feeding kitty and then we'll be present. Firefox is trying to tell me that it can't generate key points for this page, and like, okay. Oh, it's trying to like AI summary it for you. It doesn't know how to summarize this stream. But that's an AI thing, I think. Alright, so it looks like we have a lot of group quests. $111 stamina, agility, critical strike, boost. Not sure that's super worth it. Enter into the depths of one of the corrupted barrow dens. See, that just sounds like a really bad idea. But I only have room for 3 more quests, so I'm just a little bit torn here right now. Let's see. The prophecy of Mosharu speaks of an ancient egg. It is a relic of a time when trolls ruled vast empires and has the power to hold the essence of Makar. It may be the only way to keep our world safe from evil. Bring me the ancient egg. It lies deep within Jintha lore in the hinterlands, a cave beyond the amphitheater. Okay, well, that's definitely group content. I feel like that's why I'm stuck. I'm at, like, everything groupy. Sango says she would never enter a barrow den in hardcore. That's how I end up sleeping forever, but probably not in the Emerald Dream. I mean, it depends on if the Emerald Dream connects to Ardenweald, right? Stamina, int, attack power. I think what I have is better. Longwell says, incredible plot twist where it turns out the Emerald Dream is actually Ardenweald and Night Elves just don't have separate words for blue and green. Because they have, like, the Japanese architecture. Perfect. Japan does have words for blue and green, but historically, or to a certain point, they're viewed as the same color. Or unlocked. We figured it out. Alright, inventory sort. Want quest items up here. I feel like I'm not getting struck in combat, which is good. But I suppose that's supposed to swap out with carrot on a stick. Heavy armor kit. Bright baubles. We could just do fishing. That's my stream. We just do fishing. My inventory is very, very full of many, many things. Chest, legs, hands, but chest, we got it. Legs. Ooh, we don't have that, and I bet I am going this right now. Legs. I don't think I... Seed of life. Oh, we can go to Moonblade. Oh, but I can't move through that tunnel. Still. It's hard to make decisions sometimes. There's so many options for things that we could be doing right now. Longwell says that she has fed the kitty and unleashed my noodle. He's a good noodle. I will have to remember to make sure I go take these things out of the mailbox. I feel like I probably let some things disappear into the void. Hopefully I did not let everything disappear into the void. That would be upsetting if I discover that I failed to keep track of my auctions so bad that several of them just got deleted. Okay. Light a balloon, lucky charm, very important. What decisions did I make? Fungo says the sense of security of a full quiver of arrows. Very true. Oh, I wanted to look to see... Wow, my bars are so full. I don't have any water, so I should get water. Ah, and this is my toggle for equipping those. I'm figuring out what my plan was here. What all of these things mean. I wanted to look at my first aid. Oh, I can make mage boot bandages. I wonder, I need to look... How do you get heavy mage? Second screen, activate! Where is it? Oh, it's on the monitor. I didn't expect it. 40. Alright. So I have to level up more. Anyway. So I can go ahead and make some of these right now. Looks like I have to go on a journey, so we might just go on that journey. Trauma surgeon in Thermal. Oh, we have to do that quest. Okay. Well, let us head to Theramore. That is our goal for today now.
What brings you here? Be careful.
Boat to Theramore is in Menethil. So yeah, we're gonna go to Aberdeen, take a boat to Menethil, and swap boats over to Theramore. I don't know if Photon Debugger, I don't remember if that's your Twitch username or not. I don't remember if, no. I'm blurbling all my words. I don't know if you can hear me. You said you can't join Twitch, but I do see that you are here from Discord, and hello if you can hear. Someone has died at level 25. I don't know why, but I feel like these alerts of like people dying makes the game feel more social to me. Maybe just because it is information about what other players are doing. I also feel like I learn a lot from it, in the way that I used to learn a lot from like the hardcore clip compilations, where it's like at a certain point you see the same area over and over and over, and you start to learn, oh, that place is a death trap. Well, I'm glad that you are here. Photon Debugger. It is very intimidating to start playing hardcore on a character you enjoy after you've been away for a while, though. Just because you know, if you mess up, if you're not on your A game, it's curtains. All of your time is over. Let me slash played here. This character has had 9 days, 10 hours, and 11 minutes put into him so far. So that's a lot of loss should I fail. I'm just barely gonna miss the boat, aren't I? Yes, I am. Oh, that is the World of Warcraft experience right there. Songwell says that she forgot something and went in the other room briefly. And then laments with me that the boat has gone away. We wave the boat and bid it adieu. You didn't miss much. We arrived in Darkshore, and then as you saw, we missed the boat. Photon Debugger is here. I don't remember if her Twitch name was Photon Debugger. But she's not able to log in at work, so she's not in the chat. But she did alert me to her presence on Discord. She confirms it is, yeah, which also confirms that she can hear me, so... Anyway. Longville says, hello, Photon, as well. I was thinking the other day, or last night, like, why is it that I find a number of older games with, like, way less visual stimulation and, like, a way slower pace to be more satisfying and engaging when I am often, like, desperate to be entertained, and it's hard to, like, hold my attention. And I'm not sure if it is the nostalgia that, like, these things make me feel good because they have always made me feel good, and thus they are able to hold my attention because that's a closer to surefire way to make me feel okay. Or if there is something about the exact level of stimulation and visuals of these games that are inherently very satisfying. So, like, I'm not sure which of the things it is, but it's just funny to me when it's like I can't get my attention to stay on something. And so, like, then I really want to scroll Reddit or, like, always have YouTube on or something like that with, like, lots of food for thought being fed to me really, really quickly. But then there's some of these things like Vanilla World of Warcraft, the Neopets website, like old school RuneScape, that is appealing to me. I don't know if it's the nostalgia because I played all these things when I was younger, and so they make me feel good, or something about the pacing. But I mean, maybe it just does a better job of balancing, like, there is satisfying moments helped by the nostalgia, but I'm not, like, stressed out by being overstimulated. It doesn't cause me to think, like, okay, I gotta do this and that. Like, if I'm scrolling Reddit and watching YouTube, I often have this feeling that I should add more things to multitask, and I am less likely to have that feeling when I'm playing some of these games. Although I did think about the fact that, like, since RuneScape has so much, like, click and then wait for several minutes content, that maybe I could use it to, like, feel like I'm being productive in RuneScape by leveling up while I do other things that are, you know, not as satisfying as number go up in RuneScape. Bungle says she wonders if it's more possible to actually engage with the information being given by a slower paced games rather than just have it go by, and yet it's still feeding a steady stream of information, but that I can actually ingest. That makes sense, because I feel like when there's a lot of movement and craziness on the screen, like, it feels like I'm watching, like, a white noise screen. So, like, there's a lot going on, but I actually can't grab onto any of it, whereas right now I feel like I have plenty of time to actually, like, examine this texture on the sails, or think about how the light is coming through the sails, and wonder, like, is it coming through the sails, or is it just painted to be bright? Like, I don't know what their lighting engine exactly did back in this day. Songwell continued to say that, like, it's this as opposed to the equivalent of trying to aim a garden sprayer directly at your mouth. Yeah. That could be it. Honestly, that would make a lot of sense if it's like this at many points is lots of things going on. And maybe that's also why it's like I like this, but I also really like it when the chat log is super active, which incidentally it's not right now. Because I do want a pretty significant source of input, but not so much input that I can't process it or understand what's going on. Which I often feel like how I feel when I'm playing a lot of the other games. The boat has finally arrived. We are on our way. Anyone stopping in? We are technically questing because we have to do a quest to get it, but we are on our way. We have landed here. So we started here, came here. Now we will get on a different boat to go back here. Actually down here. And when we get here, we are gonna pick up one quest to do some triage support. And get a new skill for first aid. I am struggling with my train of thought. One thing that is different to Video for a while, Photon, last week I ordered a $40 like portable monitor. So it's like the size, I don't know, I guess like of a laptop screen, but it's not really much thicker than a laptop screen, and it just like sits on like a picture frame stand next to my laptop on a table. And oh my goodness, is that game changing for streaming in particular. The ability to like have the game actually be the full screen that for the most part you see sans the little chat blocker. Having it actually be full screen like that, but then
thank you. Excellent.
Having it be full screen is very immersive for me, but then I can easily glance over and see the chat or Discord. It's cool. Photon Debugger says that she was... Is it okay if I... Hopefully it's okay that I'm reading your DMs to me out loud. Yeah. But Photon Debugger says, yeah, she was listening to a VOD where I mentioned it, and confirms that it's okay that I'm reading these. So that's cool. Thank you for watching my VODs. I think Songvale said that she used to turn on the VODs when, like, she wanted to feel like she was having a social experience but couldn't. Maybe I was at work or something like that, so she used to just turn on the VODs to, like, have the sense that I was in the room. You also said that you love the dual monitor setup. Her fiance has 3. Congratulations on your engagement. I had 2 monitors for a long time, but when I moved out west, I guess while I was working at the technical support company that I worked for, I did phone technical support for phone service. They sent me out a laptop and a second monitor, and at a certain point I just connected the second monitor like to my laptop and just did all of my work on one monitor when I could get away with it, and then like after work would use the second monitor as my second monitor. So when I was like at a kind of a desk space, I did do that, but ultimately when I quit that job, I had to send it all back. Fair enough. And there's not really a good spot for a dual monitor setup in my apartment, so I had kind of not had it for a while. But I'm very excited to have purchased this little side one. In the screen quality, I still would not do digital art on it. Like, I can tell there's certain, especially in like purples, where it's fairly grayed out, it's kind of washed out, but it's much better than I would expect for like a $40 monitor I got on Amazon. Very satisfied with my purchase. I'm just hoping it lasts longer than like 6 months before it like burns out. But it is definitely a huge benefit if you are streaming to have a second monitor to be able to look at your chats, and also like at OBS to make sure that it is streaming what I expect it to be. I also got a piece of cardboard over the weekend to put under my laptop's cooling pad, which has like very aggressive hard edges, and it digging into my legs was just a lot. I didn't care for it. Alright, looking for the triage guy. I thought he was over here. Medics. I must be wrong. I thought he was over there. Maybe... There might be tents of people to treat over here. Yes, I looked up the town that we needed to go to, but I didn't, like, read everything about where this guy is. He's supposed to be in an area that's sort of on the open ground with... Maybe I'm wrong. I might be thinking of what it looks like when you're playing Horde, the other faction. Maybe he's in this building in one of the bunker areas. My brain keeps telling me, like, be careful, we're entering somewhere that, like, we could get surrounded. It's like, it's a safe town, brain. Photon says, thank you on the thanks for the engagement. Oh, yep, here he is. Engagement. She didn't want to share it and just have it be, like, super random. But yeah, for a small monitor for $40, that's totally worth it.
What can I do for you?
I have learned... Oh, do I have to get all the way to 240? I bet I do. Alright, well, let's get that. Let's get to 240. Let's get to 240. Oh my goodness, please, let's get to 240. Please? Yay! Alright.
Hello.
It is good to see you again, Dr. Bright Ranger. I have been following your progress, and I dare say it is time that you learn some of the more advanced bandaging techniques. Return to me from time to time as your skill advances, and I shall teach you all that I know. Teach me how to create and apply a heavy mage weave bandage, Doctor.
See you around. Good day to you.
Oh,
Safe travels.
I thought there would be a quest, but I guess I already did that quest, and now I just get to make these. Well, that's convenient. But I guess I have failed since the title of the stream says questing. We are, what, 32 minutes in, and there has been no questing whatsoever. Oops. Sorry. Okay. Let's see. Where do I put my bandages on here? Here they are. I got Mage Weave. I feel like heavy is substantially better. We're gonna switch to heavy. And then I guess we will go back to trying to evaluate what we should do, considering everything I have as a group quest. I am reluctant to, you know, become someone like this and die. I don't know, maybe we should level the bank tune. Songbell says, actually, this is fine. I'm questing for a quest to do. Quest acquisition is my own quest objective. Thank you for validating my running around experience. Well, this is orange. We should probably stay away from it. Eastern Plaguelands, Western Plaguelands. Should we try going up to the plague land?
Great to meet you.
Should we do it?
Keep your feet on the ground.
I feel like I'm a little bit of a low level for plague lands. What do I have in Ungoro? Oh, it's also orange. Moonglade. I am in a tough spot. Wow. Moonbrook today is the place to die. Or do we go farm some materials? I don't know. What are you thinking, Songvale? Have any input? Or fishing. We could just fish. Roots and Doots. That's such a cute name. I am in deep indecision about what questing to do. I was like, oh, I haven't done Teneris, but actually, as I think about it, I think I have done Teneris. Sango says she didn't hear the question, sorry, and she is struggling to type. I don't know, I was saying, like, what do you think we should do? Should we go try to do some quests that seem kind of dangerous? Should we just farm leather? Should I clear out my bank alt and play the rogue that I'm kind of interested in this morning? Sango says she's pretty sure she's seen me in Teneris. Yeah, like, as soon as I think about it, I was like, oh, I haven't done Teneris yet, and then I thought about it more, and I was like, no, I'm pretty sure I did. I feel like I actually, on Bright Ranger, have been pretty thorough with questing through every available area. Part of me wonders if I did a Wrathy. Do you remember if I did? Yeah, no, I remember doing a specific quest there because I did the elites that are over in Stromgard. So I think I have been fairly thorough. Sango says she would avoid dangerous quests and probably do either the bank alt or farming. Well, what are you more interested in having as your side thing today? You want to watch me do Lobby Night Elf Rogue time? Or you want to watch me farm things? We have to wait for the boat to get here. Sango says Lobby Night Elf sounds peaceful. Alright, well, that will require some clearing out of that tune as a bank alt, because if death comes for me, I don't want it to come for all of my riches. I think I'm gonna get Bright Ranger back to Darnassus, though, so that I can list a couple of things on the auction house from him. Someone in guild chat is looking for people to help with the summon, so I could just completely change what I'm doing and go help them. boat. 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 It's the boat. Boat. I do really like this character, though. Plus, this just feels like such a good classic endgame. Endgame of vanilla classic. Like, vanilla classic. Endgame of vanilla, endgame of classic, like, silhouette. This is how you knew somebody had made it. They had huge shoulders and a long cloak. Things that were not achievable until a very high level in vanilla. It does bother me the way he holds his bow, though. Like, this is just not how, at least I would ever hold my bow, because you can't fire from this. Like, and it's not more ergonomic. I would find it less ergonomic, to be honest, than holding it with the string against the inside of your arm. And if it's like this, if, you know, suddenly something happens where you need to shoot, this is not the way to be holding your bow, because you need both hands to switch where you're holding it and then have to grab an arrow after. Anyway, I have a problem with this particular bow form. Songville says, she wants tea, but now she can't hear anything except her electric kettle. Okay, if I'm turned up all the way, then I can be heard. The kettle is very good, but very loud, and my kitty is hungry. Oh, thank you. Feed the kitty. Some of the fish we picked. Thank you for alerting me to her hunger. We'll feed her a couple of fish here once she is done eating the previous one. Keep her happy. I think she is long since best friend, so she will be around for a very long time. We're fortunate enough to have the boat waiting for us. No, alas. Maybe by the time we get there, it will arrive.
Much appreciated.
Longbow says she'll be right back. She's gonna pour her tea water.
Excellent.
I don't have any buffs to share when people buff me, so I just have to make sure that I thank them. I just try to be as polite as I can. I figured out why my chat block was in the wrong spot, and that's because my chat in-game was in the wrong spot. So we've got that sorted. I suppose, like, I think it probably is, so now I'm going back to how my attention works, and in this version of the game. I think Songvale is probably correct, that there's, like, enough stimulation and focus from older versions of the game for the most part, unless it's, like, waiting for the boat. Waiting for the boat is a little bit unbearable. But there's enough going on, and yet there's lots of room for my own thought. So I'm entertained enough to stay on this, but also not taking in so much that I'm not, like, contemplating how they created that model, or the interest of, like, the painting texture on the, like the texture of the painting on the texture on a model. Or, you know, just pondering life or other game plans or something like that. I'm not articulate today at all. But yeah, I think that's something. I do see that it is Children's Week. People are taking folks around. People in LFG right now are discussing, like, where's a good place to go level up 51, which obviously is very similar to 52. And they are recommending, maybe Western Plaguelands. So we could consider that. A little bit intimidating. I am going to go help a guildie, with the summon, though, in Winter Spring. Songwell says, every time that she sits down, she's reminded that she no longer lives in chair hell. I'm glad that you are enjoying your new chair. That is so ideal. I like that we're both on this streak of, like, investing in a purchase and then just being excited and satisfied by that purchase rather than regret. Songwell says, it's so good, I can't communicate how big an improvement this is. I'm glad that you are comfortable. I feel like between that and the desk being all cleared off, you should be very excited to do all of the tasks you enjoy at your desk. She says she is in even more less pain than she expected. That's great, friend. I'm glad that you are not experiencing pain. Oh, that's brutal. Here's some dark humor. Someone in LFG says, someone told me don't love your job, job your love. And I told them, don't die trying, try dying. Alright, it turns out they don't need help in Winter Spring. So we are continuing on to Darnassus. Songwell says, it's sad when someone dies nearby and you feel like if you'd only seen them in time you could have helped, but also there's a good chance they're not in the same chart as you a lot of the time, so. Yeah. Although I think hardcore is less populated now and there's only like 2 layers, so it's entirely possible that we would be in the same space, but... Songville says, job your love is an emblematic example of the wrong version of turning your hobby into a hustle. I feel like where I'm at on the idea of, like, should your hobby be a hustle is basically it should be the case that when we are skilled in something that provides potential value to others, that can be the way that we earn a living. Like, it shouldn't have to be the case. The only way to earn a living is by doing things that make you question whether or not you want to continue living. So, like, I'm I'm not against people making money off their passions. I think that's a good idea. But yes, it is a struggle to figure out how do we make money off our passions without destroying that passion for ourselves or by, exploiting other people, or manipulating them into spending money that they shouldn't have. Alright, well, in the world's most interesting stream, I've just gotten a group to be able to do the ancient egg. So guess what we have to do? Take a boat back the direction we just came. Actually, it might be faster to take the flight path, so we'll go do that. Songville on the previous topic says, I think people being supported while they do things that are fulfilling, they are passionate about is a great idea, and it's not inherently bad to achieve that by turning your hobby or passion into an income. But I do think, this part's from me now. I think part of the issue is that it's so hard to provide enough value to make a living that usually you, you have to end up doing it like a machine. You can't do it in a way that's thoughtful and passion-based unless you happen to do something that, a very rich patron starts supporting. Photon Debugger says she feels that she got back into Pokemon trading card game and it feels low-key crushing how expensive dumb cardboard is. Yeah, I feel like that's something that I occasionally look at and I'm like, oh, I like the art or something like that. It might be fun to do something, but I don't actually... I'm in a weird place where, apparently there's all these things to do, but actually I struggle to really find all of these apparently phantom opportunities that exist to be social and do hobbies around here. And so I feel like part of my interest in Pokemon would be oh, I can do this with other people, but no, there's not other people around to do it with, in my local area per se. And then, oh man, is this gonna prove that it would have been faster to wait for the boat and then be able to run across? Am I gonna make it? Am I gonna make it? I think it would have been just barely faster in terms of running across here to be on that boat. Let's see. Oh, no, I don't think it would have mattered either way, but oh my gosh, that's agonizing. This stream is just waiting for boats. But yeah, I have no interest in spending the degree of money that Pokemon requires, because even, buying the packs, opening the packs sounds really fun, but also it's, $5 to open one pack. And the entertainment of that, if you're not getting to, talk about the art or do things with other people, means it's, $5 every 20 seconds, which is very, very expensive. Songwhale, going back to hobbies and hustles, she thinks that because of the connotations of the word job in our current discourse, I don't know how to pronounce the word you use, so I'm changing it to discourse. If you get to the point of saying turn your love into a job, then you are coming at the idea wrong. Turning a thing you love into unfulfilling drudge work to earn a living is not being sustained by your passions inherently. Yes. Songville also calls for a clip compilation of me missing boats, and I just feel like that would be soul crushing to watch. Like, that would be like, you know, people do compilations of, like, satisfying videos of, like, perfect peels off electronics and, like, cutting, like, butter with a really warm knife or something. If you watched a version of things that was, like, failed satisfying, where just everything you watch is frustrating, just a compilation of me barely missing boats, would be that for World of Warcraft players. Photon Debugger says, what? Oh, I guess they're going over there. Photon Debugger says that, $5 is not even accurate. Depending on the packs, the set that she wants is $10 a pack thanks to stupid scalper market. Oh, that's brutal. I do feel like I see, Pokemon cards stocked on the shelf in my area. So by all means, you know, I guess, like, there's shipping to account for, so it might increase the price back up there anyway. But feel free to pass me the names of the sets that you're interested in that, that might be, on the shelves in 2026. And also, like, what a good price would be. Let me know. Maybe I can... Maybe they're on the shelf here. I feel like when people are like, I've never seen Pokemon cards on the shelf, that is not a thing in the area I'm in, where I'm, like, sort of close to a major city, but also sort of rural. So, like, sometimes we just never get the stuff that other people do, like, in our Walmart or whatever. It just never shows up on the shelf at all. But then sometimes it happens where, like, it's on the shelf and it stays on the shelf for a long time because there's not that many people going to that Walmart. She says maybe she doesn't know if they're still in print, but it's Black Bolt and White Flare. Okay. I had a friend send me a link to a YouTube channel where his whole thing is he posts a short, like, every day he spins or something. He gets a number for a Pokemon, you know, in the National Dex order. And then he spins a wheel that says, like, how many packs he's going to open, like, looking for a full art card of that Pokemon after looking up what sets it appears in. And it really makes it apparent to me that, like, I think the minimum amount of packs he opens in search of these cards is, like, 20 at a time. I'm pretty sure it's sponsored by somebody that sends him the packs. But, like, if you think about it, he's spending, like, $100 a day on opening cards at a minimum. It is kind of fun, but, like, that's what I mean, is, like, I think opening the packs and looking at the art is really fun, but I don't know how long I would be entertained by that. I think I would find it very entertaining. The entertainment would also be very brief, and I am not made of money. So I cannot, you know, I don't even know that I would open one pack a day. So we are doing Ancient Egg here, which I did read earlier. We're looking to get an egg to capture an evil god inside from a giant outdoor dungeon area called Jintha Allure. I do think once I put myself on the flight path, we're going to throw up that Be Right Back card that we finished last Friday. And run to the restroom before we settle in for what we need. Someone says, did they mean to do that? I just realized my chat was scroll up. I'm guessing, did you mean to do that? Was that person who just jumped into the water? I think so. I bet they were going out to do a quest thing. Songwell says, you never know, maybe it was an accident, now they have to make it look intentional. I guess, yeah, maybe they just committed to the bit. And Songvale has also seen the Pokemon pack opener and has never seen him get the card that he meant to. That's true, although I will say he does most of the time get at least some cards, so I feel like his book is being filled out slowly. He's just never getting the one that he intends. I don't know. And I'm not sure if, like, opening that many packs, if ultimately he does pretty good to getting close to break even. I also am not sure, like, this is really apparent in other hobbies, where, like, the price for
See you around.
cards or reselling or something is high, so people can't buy what they want, but then also things never actually sell at that price, which just results in, like, these things are worth a lot, but actually they're worth less because there is no active, like, buy and sell market. There is just people who want to buy and can't afford, and people who are listing the cards for more than anyone ever actually pays. I'm not sure if Pokemon suffers from that too. Alright. I will be right back. We will return. Oh no. Okay, I didn't even know we could use that button. I am back. I was having visions while I was in the restroom of just making it to hardcore moments because I flew directly into something, but I knew this flight path was pretty safe. There's really no way anything's up here. I do think it would be funny if they did hardcore Cataclysm during, like, the era of Cataclysm before your server kills Deathwing. He just randomly sometimes just kills everyone in his own. And I think there's a Russian roulette for that could be funny until it happens to you. Photon Debugger says, I think it depends unless it's vintage or something, but I'm chasing singles rather than packs anyways. Packs just mean, like, unopened 9-card packs, right? Not, like, anything like that. Just checking up on the party because we lost somebody and I just want to see what happened. Alright. We're here. We need to summon our cat, and we have a new tank. Excellent. Good to go. I can't mount here. See where everybody is meeting up. I think we're kind of hanging out here in Airy Peak. I used to be in this guild, Good Vibes, Fresh Coffee. And then I kind of took a break, and when I came back, it wasn't a space that I wanted to be in anymore. Songville alerts me to the fact that my Weroll return card is still up. Thank you. I didn't, I did not realize that it was still up. Appreciate that. I'm not used to having to turn it on and off yet, given that it's new. Songville says, if it was an accident, like, oh, that was from a long time ago. Songville says, the first person on my list seems very dead set on making it to max, and I hope they do. I hope they don't die. Especially that they don't die with me in the group, because that might mean we're all going down. And I don't want to go down. I have such an affection for the vanilla mount collection. Do I want to only be limited to those mounts? No, but there's something nice about every mount being graspable rather than it being like an overwhelming diversity of different creatures. I also think they have added a lot of, like, mounts over the years that just feel like number bloat. Like, who would want that? It's too outlandish to be something somebody would want. Or sorry, it's too outlandish to just blend into the background, but also to something or other for people to ever actually, like, think it's a notable standout piece too. So they're just, nobody uses it. It's just a number in your mount log, making that list be very, very overwhelming. And I do think, I don't know how I'd fix that. Obviously, if you took people's mounts away, they would be really mad. Not sure. blacking out my chat. I don't know why. Like, all of a sudden, I'm not doing it. But yeah. Oh, Tamas are beeping. You know, despite the fact that I posted that, I was working on the Tamacam a week ago. I don't have it set up for today. There's no Tamacam. Admittedly, I feel a lot less safe checking my Tama while playing hardcore. Dungeon Bait has died. Didn't work out for Dungeon Bait. Gonna refocus. Songwell says her spell check doesn't know the word amidst and wonders if she means amidship. No, she does not. I'm surprised it doesn't know amids, but it knows. Wow. I'm surprised that it doesn't know amidst, but it knows amidship. If you are tuning in and you play Classic World of Warcraft, you might be appalled by my bars. And the answer to what am I doing is whenever I play, especially like classic versions of the game, I like playing with the same UI that I had as a child playing this game, even if it's bad. And so that's what's going on here. Not letting me shoot anything. Where is she standing? So that's annoying. I guess we will just swords her. Amidst is the word, yes, Sungo. I think it is like archaic, but honestly I feel like amidship also feels archaic to most people, so you know, weird critique. Now we are on the way to, well, can't point with my finger, Jintha lore, to fight our way all the way up to the top. It's basically what's what Vanilla had, which was a few areas of like outdoor dungeons. So it's all elites. It's quite dangerous. And there's quests usually that send you in there for the loot. That's where we're going today. To achieve one quest in the entire stream, but that is vanilla World of Warcraft for you. Once you're at high levels, it feels like everything is traversing the world, long, difficult adventure, which I do really like, but is hard to get a grasp on for a brief play session. There is a reason that people like no life this game. Getting jumped by stealthed.
It's too far away.
Alright, so we're gonna try to do some kind of skip, which seems dumb, but I guess that's what they want to do, so we'll give it a shot. Luckily, let's remind ourselves, this is my Light of a Loon macro, and it will let me just hearth right the frick out of here. Talking about this, where are we going in? We're going into Jinthal lore. It's full of elite trolls. And there are a lot of trolls, and the skips are always bad. I agree. You're not wrong. Here we are. Am I ready to bail? Yep, I got my Light of a Loon macro. Of course, you always hope not to use it, because you can only get one Light of a Loon, but I am ready to bail. I do have to remember I can't use potions, because it will make it so I can't drink my Light of a Loon. But we are ready to go. Are you ready to double click the macro? You just gotta click it once. Oh, right. You're right. I have to double click to get it to go off. You're right. I feel like we tested this when I first made it, and now I don't totally remember, but you're right. I will double click. Honestly, if the warrior wants to just pull normally, I'd be much happier with that. Oh boy. All right. Well, we're going around. They're leaving me behind, which I'm not super keen on. This is fall damage city happening. This looks very dangerous. Not super keen. Alright. Maybe this worked. Maybe this was fine. Okay. Ooh, that scared me when my pet just took off in a random direction. We're gonna go with a humanoid tracker up on the minimap. And I admit I am gonna focus up here. Songville did say, she thought Kitty was about to run all the way down and pull for no reason, pull everything. I did too. I think it's like the geometry of these walls often causes pets to do screwy things when you are standing on them. I'm a little concerned about running out of mana, so I need to remember that in vanilla, sometimes you just auto-click, and that's, or auto-shot, and that's fine. That's all you need to do. So that's what we're gonna do. I do think it's kind of funny that I'm with mages, and I'm gonna be the one who calls for mana regen first. But I guess, you know, maybe mages, they have a technique for it, right? Whereas, like, I'm just a dude with a bow and a little bit of magic. Magical elf in the woods, shooting stuff. Every time my cat just, like, snap turns, I freak out a little bit. Alright, I do think he's right that we skipped a significant amount of, stuff. I'm not sure where my cat's gonna go. Alright, that went well. Go ahead. Have some mana. Have some water for our mana. I don't feel amazing about this group's level of communication. I feel like there's... I think we're fine. We have, you know, the 60 tank and significant DPS and a healer. But the overconfidence does just concern me a little bit, because if things go to heck, we are not practicing the skills that will keep us alive in managing that situation. So I don't love that. I'm quiet because we're being attentive here. We are making sure that the situation does not go the hell in a handbasket, as they say.
I need to target something.
We are in a cave. We're moving carefully. I am, unfortunately, once again at no mana. I need some intellect or something, jeez. No, Hecate is passed. That's not good. Songbill says these moonstalkers are taking all the moon gods from us. Yeah, that's not cool. Songwell says she saw someone named Elune get got by a moonstalker a while back too. Brain keeps misinterpreting the main hand timer on the left as mobs running out from that side of the screen. Ooh, that's scary. But also ironic on Elune getting got by a moonstalker. Gotta feed Kitty so that her damage is at its best. I want to get these herbs, but probably that is not the thing that we should be doing right now, and I understand that. So
It's too far away.
alright, well they have cleared. So this one feels safe to get, I'm gonna take it. We're gonna get a free portal to safety. I guess let's go turn this in Daenerys so that we have achieved a quest. Go turn in the ancient egg. I am not sure if this is a quest that leads into the raid Zul'Gurub here. Or did I never did Stranglethorn Vale. I just didn't want to, and then it was dangerous. I guess I could have quested through there to push me up a little farther, but I'm not sure if it will lead to a quest here, or if it's first going to lead to a quest in Sunken Temple, which is like out past the map, I guess. I didn't realize it was out past the map. That's interesting. So we're on our way to Daenerys. What's my best way there? Probably Theramore and flying? Yeah. So we need to go to Menethil Harbor, I believe.
Hey there. Have a good one. See you around.
Because there's no boat in Stormwind right now, in this era of the game. So we go up to Menethil Harbor, and then take the boat. Yes, I'm aware that I could take the tram for free, but it's 3 silver, and I think the lack of management is worth it to me because I need to check on my V-Pets. See how my Gigapet is doing, and not good this morning. The Gigapet is very, very high maintenance. Alright, so my kitty is frustrated. The Gigapet. So I am having to provide lots of food, cleaning, and care. The thing that's hardest about the Gigapet, honestly, is that what drops the fastest is discipline. So when you engage with the pet, like, what I need to do at least half the time, if not about 75% of the time, is like punish the kitty, which doesn't feel fun. And I think that just creates this loop where I engage with it less and less and less. And then even more so, it always needs a bunch of time spent on the discipline. I just wish that wasn't so. I like the premise of the Gigapet a lot. The buttons feel really good, but the gameplay programming just feels a little bit misweighted in what they prioritize you doing. I just don't know why Kitty constantly needs to be disciplined. I feel like I might have somebody blocked who's talking. No, I think she's just posting in the wrong... Someone in guild chat's talking, and I can't figure out, like, who they're talking to. My kitty has just grown wings and, like, is flying around. That's exciting. Slash cake. You know, I feel like people are dying in whatever zone I'm in. I am causing death. We will achieve something today. We're almost there. We want to go here. Why are we going south? Yes, there's mountains. I just had this moment where, like, I glanced over at my Twitch stream and I saw that it was in, like, Menethil Harbor, and I was like, oh my goodness, we haven't been there for a long time. Why hasn't anybody said anything about, like, the stream being broken? And then once I clicked over it, it updated, so it's good. It was just the preview image was, last loaded a long time ago. You know, it's like you knew. I just got done having a drink. I set it down, and then I looked over at my screen and saw the locked screenshot. And then you pushed it. Songville says, while I'm flying, it's time to remana. Remana self, more mana. Alright, alright. Where did I say we were going? Oh, we're going to Theramore. We're going to Theramore. I will have some water. We have had some water. Songwell says we have added to the missed boats. I didn't even see it. Did it go by? Did it go by? Did we miss it because I stopped to have water? Songwell says it was on the horizon. Ugh. Agony, far more painful than yours. Songwell says, I definitely wouldn't have reached it anyway, but I was very close to having done so. You know, I guess this is my burden to bear. We can provide better care for Tamagotchi. Oh no. My Tamagotchi planet is about to be hit by meteors. I am annoyed. It is just on the case, so it's not as bad as, you know, if it was on the device. But my Tamagotchi case got scratched by the ring on my Gigapet in my pocket on Monday. And now there is a scratch over the screen on the plastic case. honestly, like, I feel like having a Tamagotchi cam, because the screen does shut off after I've not interacted with it for a bit, isn't as important as being able to, like, switch to a Tamagotchi cam when it's time to update or play with them. And I feel like what needs to happen there is, like, it has to somehow, like, sit almost kind of, like, on my chest and, like, look down at the Tamagotchi as I'm looking at it. And I don't really have a solution for that. Songville says VPet on VPet violence. True. At least the case has been allowed to fulfill its purpose. Yeah. So the case, like, has protected it, and that's good. I'm less, you know, it's less irreparable than if the device itself had sustained the scratches. But I'm still annoyed. I also think it's annoying that, like, the screens do look better without the glare of the, like, extra plastic case over them. And yet they will be damaged. And then eventually they will not look nice anymore. And that is the challenge. Alright, we're doing much better. Little burb now. And the boat has arrived! Excellent. Well, at least that is well timed. I thought this person's name referenced Hugs, and I was like, oh, what a sweet name. And then, nope, they are one of the people who named their own character an insult toward themselves. I do not understand that inclination whatsoever. No, my coffee is gone. So sad. Hardcore is, as I said though, such a chill thing to stream. The pace is so low, like there's not lots and lots to comment on with the game, so I kind of have to, like, have something to say about life. All there is to do is just hang out together and talk about our feelings. You know? $56 dead. Oh, brutal. Also play in Stormwind. I feel like Stormwind has, like, the choir. Songgirl asks, is hardcore about death or about life? or in fact these twins of one another. I think it is, and like even though that's humorously done, humorously said. I think it is just in fact
What's on your
true.
mind? Be good.
Obsidian has killed another person. Songgirl says she doesn't think that song plays in Stormwind, but it could be the rendition is different enough that she just doesn't recognize it. Fair. It might just be that, like, that's one of the only places in Vanilla WoW that they use the brass instruments, to, like, sort of link that these are two major human bastions that still exist. And it's just the presence of the brass instruments is distinctive enough that I'm thinking it's the same song, but they're not. Well, we didn't make... Oh, let's see. Songo says, what does the demonic maw on my rightmost body? Is this one? This is track demons. Starting to get hungry. Just leave. See what happens when I land in Gadgetzan. I'm kidding. I'm not gonna leave. I'm gonna stay. Lagos says no, why Gadgetzan? Never Gadgetzan. My pet wasn't in combat. No, I was in Theramore. I was safe. For people wondering why she's asking that, if you or your pet is in combat when you land in a goblin town, or was like when you got on the flight path, all of the goblins trying to preserve sanctuary space will glom onto you and root you in place and kill you. So never hearth to Daenerys as a hunter. Don't take a flight path when you're evading combat for some reason on a hunter. Keep your hands on the keyboard on a hunter so that you can get out of there if you need to. But indeed, we are fine. Alright. Let's summon our pet. And we'll feed our pet. And then we will head off to go turn in the one quest we did in today's questing. Yep. Songbell adds, like, you can't hearth to the goblin town while in combat, so, like, if you, like, light of a loon yourself out of a bad situation, you will still die. Hashtag just vanilla things, indeed. I feel like there's so many bizarre little bugs and stuff like that that, like, people thought vanilla is solved, that's why we can hardcore it, but I feel like hardcore has discovered even more bizarre little quirks. I'm not sure if this quest is going... I feel like because it has no rewards at the bottom, this does lead into something else. So I guess now we're going to find out if it's a Sunken Temple quest. I feel like it might be a Sunken Temple quest. Songwell says, during Legion for a while, there was a bug where anytime you zoned into Stormwind upon leaving a battleground, every garden site would attack you immediately. That's funny. Talk about, like, not respecting veterans returned from war. I checked the stream health And that led to me having to pause as I had to fix everything about my second screen. Alright.
Relax.
Greetings, Hunter. Though time and drink have dulled my outer senses, my inner eyes remain strong.
Okie dokie.
Do you have the ancient egg? I sense great forces stirring, and I fear that time grows short.
See ya
Ah,
later.
you have the egg. I bow to you, Bright Ranger. Your strength and bravery will be long remembered.
The accent's all over the place. I used to be really good at the troll one, because I roleplayed trolls for so long, and now, and like, in reading the text all the time, I was able to, like, verbally do the accent, and I can't.
See ya.
Now it is time to capture the essence of the avatar of Hakar. Take the egg of Hakar to the sanctum of the fallen god in the sunken temple in Azeroth.
In Azeroth. So here's another instance where Azeroth meant Eastern Kingdoms, which I think is interesting.
Invoke the egg's power to stir the dead god. He will send his minions against you. Defeat his blood drinkers and take their Hakari blood. Then use the blood to douse Hakar's spirit. When all the flames go out, the avatar of Hakar will enter our world. Defeat him and place his essence within the egg of Hakar.
I feel like I'm helping summon Hakar. This is a knife quest. This is a knife quest. I'm very sure. Capture the essence. Take the egg of Hakar. Stir the dead god. Beat the blood drinkers, take the blood. Douse the eternal flames that hold his spirit. When they all go out, Hakar will be summoned, and then we defeat him, and his essence is placed in the egg. Like, I think we're setting up Zul'Gurub here. I'm pretty sure this is a knife quest. And it rewards a knife too. Longwell says it also rewards a knife. That's part of how you know. Yeah. She also comments that she remembers typing /Psy on her paladin Telstiad as she was being murdered for the third time after coming back. Alright, well, we have another quest for Sunken Temple, but we will not be doing that today. I do have about 5 minutes left, but admittedly we are back in the same spot where we're wondering what do we do. I guess we could try to go towards the Plague Lands. I don't know if that feels like a good idea. I think maybe what I want to do is be ready to either do Ungoro Soil next time, or get back into Zul'Farrak one more time. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna go find the inn and log out for today. Sungo says Ungoro sounds like a dangerous place, but Zul'Farrak is too. Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye out for devil sores, which despite being massive can indeed sneak up on you and destroy you. They were the original Fel Reaver. Original Fel Reaver experience. Well, thank you very much for hanging out with us today. Of course, in the future, we will be back. Tomorrow is Genshin Impact. And Friday, we will do another creative stream, I hope. If you're just here for WoW, of course, that is on Wednesdays for WoW Wednesday. And I will catch you all in the next stream. Bye. Have a good day. You are welcome, Songvale. I'm happy to give you a little bit of something. I was going to say background noise, but I definitely seem to have thoroughly distracted you, given the fact that, you still posted fairly regularly. Have a good one. Bye, everybody!